Travis Wayne Goodsell. Church news time. What would the church do without me? So finally, somebody got word about the website taking down the big video presentation on 2 weeks from Monday, yesterday. Because last week they took it down and I laughed at them for it. And so finally somebody gotten word about my videos laughing at the church for taking it down, and it got put up today. Not yesterday, today. So yeah, and it's sad. The majority of you are new. You've not been following me for very long. A rare, less than a handful have been following me for years. Last year, as we were ending, and conference came and went, and then 9/11 of the Jews came and went, did my big video series. Should still be on the homepage. I warned you this year was going to get worse, that things were going to escalate, because this is the final year of the latter days. And Mormons don't believe it, because the prophets lie and deny. So Mormons lie and deny to make the prophets true. And it's sad, because Mormons and Christians do not realize what they've done, what Constantine did. By turning the Jewish scriptures from prophecy and revelation into literal history, they've now made the Jewish prophets of the Old Testament prophets, revelators of the coming of Jesus in the Roman period time, so that by Constantine's time it's all literal history, and therefore there are no more prophecies and revelations because Jesus has already come. But now there's a problem. Jesus failed. You turned it into literal history, and so he failed during the Roman period time. Thank goodness you're giving him a second chance with the second coming. But it's not for the Jews, because the temple is still destroyed in Jerusalem, since you turned it all into literal history. And are you kidding me? Expecting an order, and the signal got lost as he's outside supposedly delivering it. So I would expect that in the next, that would piss me off. He pulls in and then decides, I'm going to go to dinner. And then drives away, and we'll come back in another 2 hours. I've seen that done before. But nonetheless, and so this year it's gotten worse for me, and technically for you if you've been paying attention to the news. You don't know everything that I know. You're not able to watch all of my 4K videos and get caught up. This morning I intended to do a video, a hieroglyphic abridgment of the whole latter days, so that you can see the pictures of the prophecies of the Bible, of the Book of Mormon, of Joseph Smith, and the revelations, the day and the hours. And so what Constantine did is take away the day and the hour. And so as a result of this, Matthew 24 and 25, somebody went back in and changed to add, no man knows the day or the hour, because they took away the prophecy and revelation of the Jewish authors. Jesus is now literal history. It's all about Jesus. So there's no need to talk about some future time of Jesus' coming. But in so doing, you gave Jesus a second chance after his first failure. So we do need revelation of when he's coming, just like for his first coming. Because you have Herod telling his priests, when and where is he? Because the wise men come and say, we have seen his star in the east, therefore we know it's time. He's here. Where is he? So they consult the records, Bethlehem, all literal history, not the sign in the heavens. and then no more. And yet if you read Helaman chapter 14, which I did the video for the other day, you see that revelation is still in play for the death. But the Christians don't believe it anymore. That all the revelation for his death, there are none. Nobody's talking about it. It's all literal history now. And so they've erased the revelation of the Jews for the time of his coming. The first and last years of the latter days. Gone. And so Jesus is not a prophet, seer, revelator, or translator. He does none of that. Because all prophecy and revelation stopped with the birth of Jesus. So Jesus, therefore, according to Matthew 7, is a false prophet. He has no fruits to show for it. He's not giving any prophecies. Matthew 24, no man knows the day or the hour, so he can't give a prophecy if he's not going to give the revelation for when it's going to occur. Christians don't realize this. And likewise, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is playing Mormons for chumps. They claim to be the title of prophet and revelator, but they openly claim we will never prophesy or reveal. We will never do it. And they would claim that no man knows the day or the hour, that they don't want to lead Mormons astray, but in so claiming, they've led Mormons astray because they are false prophets and false revelators. You have to prophesy and reveal if you're going to claim the title. And so if Jesus is supposedly being called a prophet, he has to have prophecies, and with every prophecy he has to have a revelation. Just like speaking in tongues, you have to have somebody who can interpret the tongues, because it does no good to speak in tongues if nobody understands what you're saying. You have to have an interpreter of tongues, and that's the gift of speaking in tongues and interpretation of tongues. Real simple. Even Mormons get taught this when that lesson comes up in Sunday school, seminary, institute. It's in the manuals. And the teachers have to read from the manual. They can't teach. And so, real simple. And you have to do it before. You can't do it after. You can't say, oh, this was the sign. It just happened. This was it. No, you're not a prophet if you do that. You have to do it in advance. Surely the Lord God will do nothing, save he shall revealeth the secrets unto his servants the prophets. Lion hath roared, who can but warn? The danger has come out. And so who's been the one doing this for you, Mormons? This is what YouTube does not want you to know. You're about to die this year. You're about to be sacrificed. Have you talked to your family about how you're willing to sacrifice them? Your little kids? You had to talk with them? Jesus is going to murder you this year. Jesus wants me for a sacrifice to die for him today. In every way drink the Kool-Aid, at home, at school, play. More Kool-Aid, please, more Kool-Aid, please. Jesus wants me for a sacrifice. Yeah, it's sick and wrong. Dear God. As much as that is an awesome tune. And so, yeah, I'm having some computer terrorism yet again, cyber terrorism, last couple of days. And so I'm again reminded of how they are desperate and escalating the attacks on me than from previous years. The Valentine's Day massacre, the Mother's Day massacre, the YouTube blackout, the attempts to use the same tactics from the laptop, the Valentine's Day massacre on this computer. They tried it a couple of times, but because I had a new security system, they had to find something else. They've now figured it out. They are desperate to keep me from posting videos. And I've been trying to just get through to the FBI as well as to you guys. And nobody is doing a goddamn thing to protect you. And so it's sad that YouTube is in on this plot to murder you. I have saved you by exposing this plot. Over the years, you are still living today because I saved you. You don't believe it. You've not been following. You don't know what I've sacrificed. You don't understand why I'm still here and not leaving Utah if I don't like it. And it's just stupid. When I was living in West Valley City, they were trying desperately to kick me out. Where am I going to go? You can't just kick me out. Yeah, we can. They didn't care to provide me with another place to live. The church gave the orders, and they had to obey. The church gives the orders in the state of Utah. And the church rewards those who accomplish the church's goal. And so, yeah, it's just horrifying that Mormons just don't care. That the video I did this morning in place of the hieroglyphic abridgment, he just found out that the church had these gospel topic essays. He thought they were first released on Friday. Did his whole 16-minute video to explain it all, thinking this was brand new. Wait till he finds out there's Joseph Smith papers out there. Or that we had conference in April. Wow, the prophet spoke at a conference. This is brand new. Breaking news today, the 27th of August, 2024. Nelson came out with a conference talk. And he has no clue of how much of a dumbass he gets exposed as. All these Mormons who've been attacking me, hate comments, death threats, false testimonials, and they don't get it. They don't get it. They do not know Mormonism. They had their feelings, and that's good enough for them. And they don't realize that you've diminished Jesus. Jesus is crying because you've taken away prophecy from him. And so, yeah, this is just a tragedy unfolding here. This is just a massive train wreck that is slow motion. It's like the train wreck has already happened and we're just watching it in slow motion, or I'm watching it in slow motion. You guys have no clue that you're being crushed in the train. It's just unbelievable. And yeah, I get to benefit because I get some more movies coming today, but you don't get it. I guess you don't believe the scriptures. There will be no peace, safety, or refuge if you're not in Zion. Is there peace, safety, and refuge here in Utah, in the valley, at Temple Square, downtown? Hell no! All the deaths that are occurring, all the crimes that are occurring, the Salt Lake County and city had a conference about how they're trying to figure out how to stop the gangs going on. This is not Zion. Zion doesn't have gangs. Zion doesn't have homeless. Zion doesn't have abuse and murder and rape and theft. What is wrong with you? God. It is just so sickening that Mormons are just so hard-hearted. They just don't care to know the truth. Don't care to study, to learn the truth. They won't do it. And that's sad and pathetic. So, there was one other thing in the church news, despite bringing up the reminder that on the 10th, when Trump and Harris may or may not go at it, 9/11 is just the next day. And so it doesn't matter if Trump gets completely humiliated by Harris that night. It doesn't matter at all. Because the next day, nobody's going to remember as they're going to be fleeing for their lives. Or trying to do videos of where they were when it happened. I still remember working for the church. I was at the distribution center, 17th and 19th. They're in the returns department. And Dick Ballard brought out the TV that morning as it happened. And I sat there while the others were watching, and I'm just saying to myself, he did it. Bleep and bleep bleep did it. Because I was aware of the bigger picture of what happened the year before. Again, with a presidential election. So listen to this. Church announces new initiative to provide support for military veterans. So you think, oh, great. Provide them with financial help, because veterans get screwed over in this country. They struggle to have food. They struggle to have a place to live. You know, they have medical bills that are racked up. They are poorly treated in America. So the church, they're sitting on multi-trillions of dollars. I already knew the answer before I read the answer. But it's worse. This is how the church is providing support for our military veterans. And it's just the ones in Utah, so don't get all excited that it's a national thing. Although, it is a national thing, because that's all it is. It's just a one-time thing. Dear hell. The church was a sponsor. Announces a new initiative that has already come and gone. The church was a sponsor, which, if you know anything about sponsors, they're advertisement companies of corporations trying to sell people stuff. That's why they advertise. You want to get in the halftime of the Super Bowl and invest the big bucks, because that's when everybody's watching. They're watching for the commercials. So you get a commercial on the Super Bowl, you're in. So the church, that's what they're doing. It's all for money making. It's not for the veterans. They're exploiting the veterans to sponsor the 38th annual National Veterans Golden Age Games. And then they have to define it for us. Athletic competitions for veterans 55 and older. That just makes me want to cry. The church cannot do anything good. It's all for profit and exploitation of human beings. And the athletic competitions, yeah, rolling the ball. It's the picture. It's not athletic events. They're 55 and older. They can barely walk. One guy's in a wheelchair, but they're smiling for the camera. Instead of thanking them for their service, the church is trying to profit off of them. Thank you for your service. Hope you're still paying your tithing to the church.